Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Grape. We're going to get back into looking at wine tonight. We're going to look at an iconic producer in my estimation from California, from Sonoma, from the Russian River Valley. And we're going to look at the Rodney Strong Pinot Noir 2017 Russian River Valley. So Rodney Strong has been around since 1959. It was started by a gentleman by the name of Rod Strong, who was a very famous American dancer. In 1989, he sold it to the Klein family, who still own and operate it today. So it is a family-run operation. They have 14 different estates throughout Alexander Valley, Russian River Valley, Sonoma Coast, and Dry Creek Valley. So all within Sonoma. Some claim to fame, they're sustainable. They've been designated as sustainable. They were the first carbon neutral winery in Sonoma. In 2003, they installed what was the largest solar panel program above their barrel room in Sonoma at the time. They are very conscientious of their land, so they try to take great stewardship and great care of it. So like the grape pumice is all put back into the soils, used as compost, very little mechanical tilling and messing around with the land as possible. They utilize drip irrigation to try to reduce and control the water flow to the vineyard. So things that they're doing, that they've been doing for years, is what's now considered to be on vogue. But they were more or less ahead of their time. It is considered to be a cool climate region, and it's funny to say cool climate when you think of California, but where they are in Sonoma, off along the Russian River, you get these beautiful bright sunny days, but in the evening you get the influences off the coming through the Petaluma Gap and off the river itself that creates this beautiful fog that just sets in over the vineyards. And if you've ever been up on top of the mountain range looking over, like you're actually standing on top of the fog and it settles in right over those vines. And what happens there, it just cools everything down from the day, which helps balance out the acidity and allows for just a slightly longer growing period. And you get this great balance and complexity to the wine. Very different than Burgundy, very different than Oregon. A lot of California Pinots I find tend to be on the chewier side. This is not, but at the same time it's very different than that earth-driven, dried fruit-driven of Burgundy, and say the opulence of some Oregon wines. All are equally acceptable. Everyone is for each person's palate. So let's look at the wine. First thing I notice when I look at this wine, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's almost electric red. It's bright red. It fades out to a light watery rim. It's very clear. It's very clean. Medium to medium plus viscosity. But it's the nose on this wine that always gets me. It just screams California. It's fresh, it's vibrant, it's floral, and it's all like red dominant, almost candied fruit. It's red cherries and red currants and red cassis, lavender, red roses. There's a little bit of the black fruit in there that just kind of comes through, a little bit of a black cherry, a red and black cherry, and I get a little bit of the cocoa nib. But the florals are really there, those bright red florals, red roses, gardenias, lilacs. There's some baking spices, nutmeg and cardamom, and just a hard rock minerality. Let's taste the wine. Yeah, wow. I call this it's actually a full-bodied red wine for a Pinot, which is not surprising for California. The tannins, they're granular, but they're not present. Like they're there, but they're not ripping my face off. They're very, very nicely balanced. Acid, it's about medium. It's there. My mouth is salivating, but it's not the dominant factor. For me, it's all about the fruit. That red fruit is still flying through those cherries, almost like a peppercorn cherry, raspberries, currants, cassis, all red. Now I'm getting a little bit of that black again, and I'm also getting a little bit of that cocoa nib, just showing through, like that black licorice cocoa nib. The red florals are still there, potpourri, baking spices are all still there. And the wine has great length. I can still taste the alcohol and feel it back here. And for a Pinot, this is high in alcohol, but it's not offensive. I pegged this around 14% alcohol. I always like to take a look at that. I say 14. let's see, it's 14.5%, but it doesn't drink like a 14.5% wine. That being said, be very careful with a 14% wine, 14.5% wine. It can easily go sideways. So, you know, pace yourself and share it with a friend. Don't have it on your own. For me, I love to have this with some stewed meats, some wild game, something that's not so overpowering. I don't want anything with a big fat cap. More, I want something leaner. That's just gonna play off of the fruit. I want something with a. I also want to put a little red cherry sauce with some lake flavors, just to balance it off and play off of it. You know, in this market, it's sub $30. It's $29. I believe this one comes through Vintages, but it's also represented in the Ontario marketplace by Mark Anthony brands. So if you're looking for a great Pinot Noir, sub $30, California, who are passionate about the environment, passionate about their land, that consistently make great wine. I mean, they've been recognized as Winer of the Year, I think at least on 3 occasions. Take a look at Rodney Strong. They do have higher tier wines as well that we can look at another time. But for me, as the weather's changing, a California Pinot with some weight, some alcohol, really helps to warm the soul. And it's so clean, it's so fresh, that it's the perfect wine to have on a cool winter's night up here in Canada. So take a look, Rodney Strong, Russian River Valley, 2017, $29.95. You really can't go wrong. It's great value. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great night, and get out there and grab some wine. Take care.